Oh, do you know what? Do you want to know something I did? Do you want to know something I did? The other night... Okay, I have a confession. I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't sleep until like 6 a.m. and then I fell asleep until like 10. And then I just kind of rolled out of bed. It was not a great night. I was feeling stressed. But then I stayed awake and I tried writing a poem. I've never really tried poetry before, but I decided to write a poem. I thought about yesterday, while we were playing à la rigueur. Somebody sent a super about how their dog died, and I suddenly started thinking about it, and I wanted to write a poem that was like, because what I always say about that kind of thing is, you know, it's so sad when pets pass away, but the thing you have to remember is that you gave them like the best life ever. As people who have to exist in society, we're always kind of, I think it's normal to be kind of jealous of people's pets in a way, because they have no responsibilities. They just sit around like cats, just sleep wherever they want. And they go like, meow, you know, and you did that for them. So I kind of wanted to write something that was like, I wanted to call it Ode to an Owner. And I wanted to write about how, like, from the perspective of an animal that is, you know, that is about to pass away, but it's like perfectly happy because it's never known suffering in any way, shape or form. It's just so happy to be in any situation. It's like, well, you know, I was so pleased and I was so happy and I have no regrets. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, I feel like the grief of losing a pet can be so overpowering that I wanted to try and write something that sort of communicated that in a way. I didn't finish it, and I think I went a little too hard on the rhymes, and I feel like maybe having a non-rhyming puzzle might be, puzzle poem might be a better idea. Princess Maya. One time a boy wrote me a poem in high school and it was bad. My English class was having a poetry tournament. I performed his poem under the worst poem category. Oh my god. You put him on blast. You put him on blast in front of everybody. Oh no. I gotta say, I know you feel bad about it to this day, and that's a sign that you have a heart and a soul, but that is hilarious, and you should give yourself credit for doing something so hilarious. So well done. Well done. Yeah, I mean, a worst poem category and getting to present somebody else's poem as the worst poem, that's up. You know, the setup for that, I think, is to blame more than yourself. You know, I don't know if you should be to blame. They gave you... It's like, you know, if I was a recovering alcoholic, who do you blame for me relapsing? Do you blame me, or do you blame the person who walks over and puts a six-pack of San Miguel in my lap? I feel like you'd probably be a little bit more pissed off at the guy who comes in with a pack of beers and presents them to a recovering alcoholic, right? So I would say, I'm not saying that you're addicted to public humiliation rituals, but I feel as though the setup for that was definitely didn't have the most thought put into it to prevent that kind of thing from happening. We should write a haiku. I love haikus. Haiku is it 575 or 585 for the syllables? 575, yeah, I thought so. Slowly turning green. I wish I will miss. I miss the days I was red. Slowly turning green. I miss the days I was red. But each color shines. That's not bad. I like that. I like that. Slowly turning green. I miss the days I was red, but each color shines. I think that's pretty good. Refrigerator. Yeah, I'll spell it out in big letters with all the other fridge magnets. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I like that poem. Alright. Let me remind myself how you do a limerick. A limerick is a 5-line humorous poem with an AABBA rhyme scheme and specific rhyme, where lines 1, 2, and 5 are longer in rhyme, and lines 3 and 4 are shorter in rhyme, often ending with a funny or absurd punchline.